Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Stretch Pass, where we talk about the Ontario Hockey League news and notes around the league. Steve Clark joined once again by Matt Young, and this week, Matt, the World Junior Selection Camp was announced. Lots of OHL players on it, but let's focus on the goaltenders first. Hunter Jones from Peterborough's had a great year, and how about Nico Dawes, who has become the breakout star for the Guelph Storm this year? Who of those guys makes it? Because one of them will.
Yeah, if you're going to ask me today, I have to say it's probably Hunter Jones, just because there's a bit of a pedigree there. He's a drafted player. He's done this 2 years in a row, so he's consistent. And what we know about the World Junior Championship, they go for consistency. However, having said that, Nico Dawes has come out of nowhere this year. And if you asked me at the beginning of the year, would Nico Dawes even last as the number one in Guelph all year? I kind of questioned it. But the fact of the matter is he's thrived in Guelph this year. He's now getting an opportunity to play for Canada. The way he's played this year, I can't rule him out.
Three guys who are draft eligible are part of the selection camp. Jamie Drysdale, who plays for Erie. Quentin Byfield, who plays for Sudbury. Cole Perfetti, who plays for Sarnia. All of those guys are not only draft eligible, they're potential top 10 NHL picks. Do all three of them make it, or can you see one of them or two of them being left out?
Well, for me, I don't think Jamie Drysdale, it's not his year. He's 17. It's tough to play in this tournament as a 17-year-old defenseman. So for me, I think if any of those three are not going to make it, it's going to be Jamie Drysdale. Canada's returning a veteran defense group as well. So it's just one of those things where I think it becomes an uphill battle in terms of a numbers game for Jamie Drysdale. It has nothing to do with skill set so much as it does age and experience, because we all know this is a 19-year-old tournament.
Also, in World Junior, maybe the people who weren't part of the equation are worth talking about. If you're thinking that Dale Hunter and Mark Hunter being associated with London play favorites, well, they do have Connor McMichael, they do have Liam Foudy, but Ryan Merkley, who's been a very good citizen for them, was left off.
Yeah, again, you know what, though? It ultimately comes back down to consistency, and what you have in Ryan Merkley is some good nights of Ryan Merkley and some awful nights of Ryan Merkley, especially defensively. So in a tournament like that, a short tournament, you don't want to take a chance like that. He may be a good citizen, he may be playing great in London this year, but for me, there's just too much of a high risk, high reward factor with Ryan Merkley, and I think that's why he's off this roster.
There were trades this week. One of note that we will talk about in the World Junior Trade Freeze, which is acknowledged, but people don't really listen to, even though they wait till afterwards to announce. A big one was made as Mathew Strether goes from North Bay to Owensound, where he started his career. A second, third, and a sixth is the price. Does that start to maybe set the price for some of these trade people or trade deadline people?
Yeah, I certainly think it starts to set the price rather well. I mean, if I look at this trade, you know, I think it's a really good deal for the Owensound attack. You don't pay a high price. You don't pay anything for a couple years to get Mathew Strether back. And you're talking about a 30-goal, 80-point guy a year ago. He struggled in North Bay this year, but quite frankly and honestly, who hasn't struggled in North Bay offensively this year? So the way I look at it, I think it's a really good deal. And if I'm Joey Burke of the Niagara Ice Dogs, I'm absolutely smiling and beaming from ear to ear, because what that does is it sets the price on OA players, and you've got one, a great one in Ivan Lodnia that you can move, and I think the return has to be expected to be a lot higher for Lodnia.
Stan Butler has sometimes been reluctant to throw in the towel and go all in terms of trading away assets for draft picks and going full rebuild. With his team right now with the worst record in the Ontario Hockey League, is it time to strip it down to the studs? I'm not sure how many assets that North Bay has, but their captain Brad Chenier would be a nice addition for a team.
Yeah, Brad Chenier would be a great addition for a team, but I also look at it and I think to myself, a guy like Brendan Coe might be a great asset to a team as well. He hasn't been drafted yet. He's been, you know, his career has been slowed offensively, in particular in North Bay. He could probably use a fresh start, and you could probably get significant assets for a guy like that. The question again remains is, will Stan Butler actually make that leap of faith in building towards the future? I don't know. They certainly can't really get worse on the ice this year, with all due respect to the North Bay Battalion. So why not try doing something different, because what you're doing isn't working.
Maybe not an exciting time for North Bay, but an exciting time with the Ontario Hockey League, with World Junior Selection Camp, a number of great players off to that selection camp, and also the trade deadline approaching, though we'll have the trade freeze for the holidays first. That's it for the Stretch Pass. For Matt Young, I'm Steve Clark saying we'll see you next time.